My beloved child, listen carefully, because February 8th is not an ordinary date in your life. This is a spiritual crossing point, a moment when the unseen has permission to speak plainly. Archangel Michael stands close right now, not with fear, not with judgment, but with truth sharpened by love. And what he reveals today may surprise you, because this message is about your two sides, and the one you tried hardest to hide is the very one that guarded the light when everything else felt like it was breaking. There has always been a side of you the world sees, the composed side, the strong side, the side that keeps going, that smiles when needed, that performs responsibility with quiet endurance. People praise this side. They trust this side. They rely on this side. But there is another side you rarely speak about, a private side, the side that feels deeply, questions silently, withdraws when overwhelmed, and processes pain in ways no one ever noticed. You thought that side made you weak. Heaven says it made you chosen. Archangel Michael is revealing something now. The part of you hid was not broken. It was strategic. It was formed as a shield. When attacks came that would have extinguished your fire completely, that hidden side stepped forward and absorbed the impact. It learned how to be still when chaos surrounded you. It learned how to observe instead of react. It learned how to survive seasons that others would not have endured. And today, February 8th, that side is no longer staying hidden. There were moments in your life when you felt divided inside. One side wanted to move forward boldly, while the other pulled back into caution. One side dreamed loudly, the other whispered doubts. You wondered why you couldn't be just one thing. But Archangel Michael says this division was not confusion. It was containment. You were carrying more light than your environment could handle at the time. So heaven built layers within you. That quieter side became the guardian of your purity. That sensitive side became the detector of danger. That reflective side became the keeper of wisdom. If you had only been bold, you would have burned out. If you had only been soft, you would have been crushed. But you were both. And that is why you are still standing. Archangel Michael is speaking now about protection you didn't recognize. There were people who underestimated you because they only saw one side. They assumed you were passive, distracted, or unsure. That assumption kept you safe. It kept certain doors closed. It delayed exposure until the timing of heaven was aligned. What felt like invisibility was actually covering. And now, something is changing. One of your two sides is activating today. You may feel it as a subtle internal shift, a clarity you didn't have yesterday, a firmness in your spirit, a calm authority rising where fear once sat. This is not aggression. This is alignment. The hidden side is stepping forward, not to replace the visible side, but to merge with it. This merging is powerful, because when your inner protector and your outer strength come together, you become unstoppable, not loud, not reckless, but deeply anchored. Archangel Michael says this is the version of you that walks without apology, yet without hardness. You will speak when necessary and remain silent when silence carries more power. You will no longer over-explain yourself. You will no longer feel the need to prove your intentions. People may notice something different about you today. They won't be able to name it, but they will feel it. A grounded presence, a steady authority, a sense that you are no longer fragmented inside. This is because the war between your two sides is ending. And hear this clearly. The side you hid did not delay your destiny. It preserved it. There were seasons when you felt like you were falling behind. Others advanced faster. Others were seen sooner. Others were celebrated while you were overlooked. But heaven was not measuring speed. Heaven was measuring integrity. And you passed every test that required restraint, patience, and self-control. February 8th marks the release of internal permission. Permission to trust yourself again. Permission to stop suppressing your instincts. Permission to acknowledge that your depth is not a flaw. It is a weapon of light. Archangel Michael is near, sword lowered, but ready, saying, "You survived because you listened inward when the world was loud. You stayed alive because you honored the part of you that felt too much. And now, that same part is being crowned with confidence. Do not rush this moment. Let it settle. Something ancient within you is waking up, not anger, not pride, but knowing. The kind of knowing that does not argue. The kind that stands firm without needing validation. And this is only the beginning. If you feel this stirring already, stay close. What is unfolding next will explain why this activation had to happen today, and what it prepares you for in the days ahead. My dear one, there is something Archangel Michael wants you to understand now, because what activated within you is not random, and it is not emotional imagination. It is ancient alignment. The reason you have always felt like you were living with two inner voices is because your spirit was trained to operate in dual awareness. One side learned how to navigate the physical world, while the other was quietly listening to the spiritual realm. Most people only develop one. You were entrusted with both. There were moments when you questioned yourself deeply. You would feel an inner knowing, then immediately doubt it. You would sense when to move, then hesitate. You blamed yourself for inconsistency, but heaven never called it confusion. Archangel Michael calls it calibration. Your spirit was learning when to advance and when to wait. That hidden side you kept private was constantly scanning for timing, safety, and alignment. It was not fearful. It was precise. Think back carefully. How many times did you avoid situations that later revealed hidden danger? How many connections faded before they could cause harm? How many delays felt painful, yet protected you from irreversible mistakes? That was not luck. That was the quiet side doing its assignment. It stood guard when your heart wanted to rush ahead. It shielded the light when enthusiasm alone would not have survived. Now hear this clearly. The season of inner conflict is ending because the purpose of separation had been fulfilled. Archangel Michael says the protector no longer needs to stand in the shadows. The warrior and the watcher are becoming one. This is why your energy feels different today. You are not as reactive. You are not as easily pulled into emotional storms. You are observing more, speaking less, and choosing with intention. Some people around you may feel unsettled by this shift. They were comfortable with the version of you that questioned yourself. They benefited from your hesitation. But now, you are not shrinking or expanding. You are stabilizing. And stability is powerful. When heaven stabilizes a person, it means they are ready to be trusted with greater influence. Archangel Michael is also revealing why you never fully fit into labels. You were never meant to be just strong or just gentle, just logical or just emotional. You were designed to carry contrast. Light protected by depth. Courage anchored in discernment. This balance is rare, and it required time to mature. That is why your life unfolded the way it did. There is something else happening today that you may not have noticed yet. Your inner voice is becoming clearer. Not louder but steadier. You are less interested in outside opinions and more grounded in inner confirmation. This is a sign of spiritual authority activating. Authority does not announce itself. It settles in quietly and changes how you move through the world. If this message is resonating, pause for a moment and acknowledge it. This channel exists to bring clarity to moments like this. If you haven't already, show your support by liking this video so it can reach others who are also experiencing this shift. Share it with someone who has always felt divided inside and never understood why. Leave a comment to anchor this message in your spirit, and make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss what is unfolding next. These messages build on each other for a reason. Archangel Michael is asking you to pay attention to what no longer drains you. Notice how certain worries have lost their grip. Notice how you are less willing to overextend yourself. This is not apathy. This is discernment strengthening. You are learning to protect your energy the same way your hidden side once protected your light. You may also feel drawn to simplify, to clear clutter, reduce noise, and step back from unnecessary explanations. This is alignment in motion. When the inner sides merge, the soul naturally seeks clarity. You are no longer carrying internal debate, so external chaos feels intolerable. That is a good sign. There is a reason this activation is happening now and not earlier. You needed experiences. You needed contrast. You needed to see what happens when intuition is ignored and when it is honored. Now you know the difference. Archangel Michael says wisdom has caught up with courage, and courage has learned patience. This union is rare, and it prepares you for decisions that carry long-term impact. Do not underestimate the power of this phase. You are not being rushed. You are being positioned. Something ahead will require you to trust yourself without needing confirmation from others. And because of the two sides you carried, you are ready. Stay with this message. What is coming next reveals how this inner activation connects to the people entering and exiting your life, and why timing will suddenly make sense. Hold on, because this is where clarity deepens. My precious one. Archangel Michael draws closer now, because this layer of the message touches something tender yet powerful within you. The activation of your hidden side is not only about you. It is also about how your presence has shaped others without you even realizing it. You have always carried an unseen influence. People felt calmer around you, even when you said very little. Others felt exposed, not because you confronted them, but because your silence carried truth. There were times when you walked away quietly, and later discovered that your absence spoke louder than your words ever could. That was not weakness. That was authority operating without noise. The part of you that stayed hidden learned how to withdraw light when it was not respected, and that withdrawal taught lessons you were never meant to teach verbally. Archangel Michael reveals that many of your battles were internal because your assignment was internal mastery. Others were learning how to conquer environments. You were learning how to govern yourself. You learned restraint when expression would have cost you peace. You learned observation when reaction would have created regret. And most importantly, you learned how to stay aligned even when misunderstood. This is why some people never truly knew you. They knew your actions, but not your depth. They knew your reliability, but not your inner dialogue. You guarded that space carefully because your spirit knew it was sacred. The hidden side was not hiding from the world. It was protecting the holy from being handled carelessly. Today, Archangel Michael says that protection hath been honored. Heaven saw every moment you chose integrity over impulse. Every time you held back words that could have wounded. Every time you stayed when leaving would have been easier. And every time you left when staying would have cost your soul. None of it was wasted. This is why discernment now flows through you effortlessly. You no longer need to analyze people endlessly. You sense truth quickly. You feel when something is aligned or when it is draining. This clarity is the reward of inner faithfulness. You listened when it mattered most. There is also healing happening now between your two sides. The part of you that felt exposed is learning to trust again. The part of you that carried responsibility is learning to rest. You are no longer forcing yourself to be only one thing. You are allowing yourself to be whole. And wholeness is where authority lives. Archangel Michael wants you to hear this clearly. The world is about to meet a more complete version of you. Not louder, not higher, but clearer. People will either rise in respect or fall away in discomfort. Both outcomes are alignment. You are not here to convince. You are here to embody. You may notice memory resurfacing today. Moments when you felt small, overlooked, or misunderstood. Do not push them away. Those memories are being reframed. You are seeing now what they produced in you. Strength without arrogance. Sensitivity without fragility. Wisdom without bitterness. This combination is rare, and it required pressure to form. This message is also confirmation. If you have been questioning why your path felt slower or lonelier, this is why. You are being shaped for a role that required inner stability, not external applause. And now, the season is shifting. The light you protected is ready to be seen, not exposed but expressed. Archangel Michael says there is no need to rush forward. Your presence alone will open doors that effort never could. Your discernment will save you from choices that look good but cost too much. Trust the integration happening within you now. If this message is speaking directly to your spirit, do not dismiss it as coincidence. Type "I receive alignment" in the comments if you feel this truth settling in your heart. Blessing code 884 has just been released. And before this moment passes, there is something important I must speak over you. This word is reaching people because light must travel. When you support this mission, you are not supporting a channel. You are helping truth find those who are still in confusion. The oil that flows through this message is meant to heal hearts that have been divided for too long. I hear the Lord saying, those who sow into this ground will see clarity rise like dawn in their own homes. This is my invitation to you. If this message has strengthened you, respond with obedience. Release your support through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal, and let it become a seed that multiplies light. The PayPal donation link is waiting in the description, ready for those who feel the nudge. Do not delay what heaven is prompting. I speak blessing over every giver now. May your discernment sharpen. May peace guard your decisions. And may the hidden strength within you rise at the right time. Act now, and let your obedience echo beyond you. Beloved soul, Archangel Michael continues to speak, because now that your inner sides are integrating, your outer world will begin to respond. This is where many people become confused, so listen carefully. When alignment happens internally, reality does not change instantly. Instead, it starts revealing truth. You may notice subtle shifts in how people interact with you. Some will lean closer. Others will quietly distance themselves. This is not rejection. This is resonance adjusting. There are individuals in your life who were only comfortable with the version of you that questioned yourself. They were drawn to your hesitation, your willingness to accommodate, your habit of explaining yourself. As your inner authority settles, those dynamics can no longer function the same way. Archangel Michael says this is not a loss, it is a sortie. The integration within you demands honesty around you. You might feel moments of loneliness even while feeling stronger than ever. That paradox is normal. Growth often creates temporary space before the right connections arrive. You are not meant to fill that space with noise or distraction. You are meant to let it clarify what you truly value. Silence is not emptiness right now. It is preparation. Pay attention to how your boundaries are changing. You are not becoming rigid, but you are becoming selective. You no longer feel compelled to explain why something does not feel right. You simply step back. This is the hidden side now operating openly, not in fear, but in wisdom. It knows when engagement nourishes and when it drains. Archangel Michael also speaks about your voice. Not just what you say, but when you choose to speak. There will be moments ahead where a few words from you will carry unusual weight. People will pause. Conversations will shift. Decisions will change direction. This is because your words will come from integration, not impulse. When inner conflict ends, expression becomes clean. You may also notice an increase in intuition around timing. You will sense when to wait, when to act, and when to let things unfold without interference. This is not passivity. It is mastery. The world teaches constant motion. Heaven teaches precise movement. You are learning the difference. Do not be surprised if opportunities appear unexpectedly, then pause, then reappear in a different form. Alignment does not always mean immediate access. Sometimes it means refinement. Archangel Michael says what is meant for you will not require you to betray your inner knowing to receive it. If something demands that, it is not aligned. There is also healing happening around past regret. Moments you replayed, wishing you had spoken up sooner or acted differently. You are beginning to see those moments through a new lens. You understand now that restraint saved you. Timing mattered. Your spirit chose preservation over expression, and that choice kept your future intact. As this understanding settles, self-trust will deepen. You will no longer second-guess your instincts the way you once did. Doubt may still appear, but it will not dominate. It will pass through without anchoring. This is a sign of maturity. Faith is not the absence of doubt. It is the ability to move without being controlled by it. Archangel Michael reminds you that integration is not a one-time event. It is a process unfolding layer by layer. Be patient with yourself. Some days you will feel fully anchored. Other days you may feel sensitive or uncertain. That does not mean regression. It means adjustment. Even strong foundations settle before they support greater weight. Watch your dreams and quiet thoughts during this season. Messages may come gently. Insights may arrive when you are not actively seeking them. This is because your inner noise has reduced, making space for clarity. You are hearing more because you are no longer arguing with yourself. You are also being invited to release roles that no longer fit. You are not responsible for holding everything together, for everyone. You are not meant to carry emotional weight that was never yours. The hidden side learned endurance. Now it learns discernment and responsibility. Not every burden is assigned to you. As this part of the journey continues, stay grounded. Do not rush to define yourself or explain who you are becoming. Let others discover it through consistency. Let life confirm it through peace. Archangel Michael says your calm will become your signature. Your steadiness will become your testimony. Something important is being built quietly. You may not see its full shape yet, but you will feel its stability forming beneath you. Trust this phase. Trust the integration. Trust the wisdom that carried you this far. The path ahead requires exactly who you are becoming now. Remain present. What unfolds next will illuminate how this inner alignment begins to shape your purpose in visible ways, and why your timing has always been precise. Beloved one, Archangel Michael continues to speak, because what is happening within you now is not simply emotional growth or personal development. It is preparation for purpose. When your two inner sides began to merge, heaven was not only healing you, heaven was positioning you. Integration always comes before assignment. You could not move into what is ahead while parts of you were still at war with each other. Now that war has ended, there has always been a quiet knowing inside you that your life was meant for more than endurance. Even during your hardest seasons, something within you refused to believe that survival was the final chapter. That knowing was not imagination. It was memory. Your spirit remembered what your mind could not yet see. While one side of you was focused on getting through each day, the other was watching, learning, storing wisdom for the future. Archangel Michael reveals that many of the experiences you questioned were not meant to give you answers immediately. They were meant to give you discernment. You were not only learning what to do, but what to avoid. You were not only discovering who to trust, but who not to become. Each delay trained patience. Each closed door sharpened your ability to sense alignment. Each moment of loneliness taught you how to stand without external validation. Now that your inner sides are working together, your sense of direction feels different. It is quieter but more solid. You are no longer driven by urgency or fear of missing out. You are guided by inner confirmation. This is one of the clearest signs of maturity. When purpose begins to surface, it does not shout. It settles. It brings peace before it brings movement. You may notice that certain ambitions you once chased no longer excite you. This does not mean you are losing passion. It means your passion is refining. Archangel Michael says your spirit is no longer impressed by noise or appearance. You are becoming sensitive to substance. You want what lasts, not what sparkles briefly and fades. This shift will protect you from costly detours. Pay attention to the subtle attractions forming within you now. Certain conversations may draw you in. Certain ideas may linger in your thoughts without pressure. Certain environments may feel grounding rather than stimulating. This is how purpose begins to reveal itself. Not through force, but through resonance. You are being drawn, not pushed. Your understanding of success is also changing. You are less interested in proving yourself and more interested in being effective. Impact matters more than recognition. Integrity matters more than speed. You are realizing that influence is not about how many people see you, but how deeply you affect those who do. This awareness is a mark of readiness. Archangel Michael reminds you that your timeline cannot be compared to anyone else's. Others may reach visible milestones faster, but visibility is not the same as preparedness. You were trained for depth. Depth takes time. Shallow foundations rise quickly but collapse under pressure. Yours was built to last. You may feel a growing discomfort with explaining yourself. Not out of arrogance, but out of clarity. You know who you are becoming, and you no longer feel the need to narrate every step. Your life will speak for itself. Purpose does not require constant explanation. It requires consistency. At the same time, compassion is deepening within you. You recognize struggle in others because you have lived it internally. This compassion does not pull you into rescue mode anymore. It allows you to see clearly without absorbing what is not yours. Archangel Michael says this is healthy authority. You can care without caring. Stewardship is becoming important now. Where you invest your time, energy, and attention matters more than ever. You will notice a natural pull toward simplicity. Fewer distractions. Clear priorities. This is not restriction. It is focus. Heaven entrusts more to those who know how to manage less well. There will be moments when old patterns try to resurface. Doubt may whisper familiar questions. Overthinking may attempt to reclaim space. Do not interpret this as failure. It is residue, not regression. Return to stillness. Alignment is deeper than temporary noise. Your purpose will not arrive all at once. It will unfold in layers, each one matched to your capacity. Each step will stretch you but not break you. This pacing is intentional. You are meant to grow strong as you grow visible. Archangel Michael assures you that nothing you endured was wasted. Even seasons that felt unproductive were building inner strength that will soon support outer responsibility. Trust the process that formed you. Trust the clarity settling in now. You are not late. You are ready. Remain present in this moment. The next unfolding will reveal how this inner readiness begins to shape real-world decisions, relationships, and opportunities in ways you cannot yet see. My beloved soul, Archangel Michael speaks with great precision now, because this stage of your journey is delicate and powerful at the same time. What is unfolding within you is no longer hidden only in the spiritual realm. It is beginning to shape your daily life, your habits, your reactions, and your decisions. You may not have dramatic external changes yet, but internally, a deep restructuring is taking place. This is not chaos. This is order being restored. You may notice that situations which once drained you emotionally no longer have the same effect. Where you once felt compelled to explain yourself, you now feel comfortable pausing. Where you once rushed to respond, you now wait. This is not detachment. This is mastery. Archangel Michael says your spirit is no longer operating from survival or approval. It is operating from stewardship. You are learning how to guard what matters. There is a growing awareness around your energy. You feel it when something pulls too much from you. You sense when a conversation is no longer aligned. This awareness may feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable, because you are used to pushing through. But this discomfort is wisdom forming. You are learning that rest is not weakness, and boundaries are not rejection. They are protection. As this alignment deepens, certain environments may suddenly feel heavy. Places you once tolerated may now exhaust you. Conversations filled with constant negativity or surface-level noise may leave you feeling empty. This is not judgment. It is sensitivity refining. When clarity increases, tolerance for disorder decreases. Your spirit is choosing peace over chaos. People around you may begin to respond differently. Some will feel drawn to your calm presence. Others may feel unsettled, even if they cannot explain why. This is because your inner authority is becoming visible. Authority does not need to be loud. It shifts the atmosphere quietly. And when it does, it reveals who is aligned and who is not. Archangel Michael wants you to remain steady through these changes. Do not shrink yourself to make others comfortable. Do not harden yourself to protect against misunderstanding. Simply remain consistent. Truth stabilizes over time. Those meant to walk with you will adjust naturally. You are also being invited to engage with intention. Small actions done from clarity carry more weight now than large actions done from restlessness. Whether it is a conversation you have been avoiding, a decision you have delayed, or a habit you are releasing, move from inner confirmation, not pressure. Alignment multiplies effort. This is why messages like this matter. There are many others experiencing a similar inner shift but lacking language for it. If this word is resonating with you, take a moment to like this video so it can reach those who are searching quietly for confirmation. Share it with someone who has felt this internal change but has not understood it. Leave a comment to anchor this message in your spirit. And make sure you are subscribed so you remain connected as this revelation continues to unfold. Staying connected matters more than you realize right now. Archangel Michael also speaks about patience. Integration does not mean everything becomes easy or clear overnight. Some days will still feel uncertain. Some choices will still require waiting. Do not mistake this for stagnation. Even a steady river moves slowly while shaping the land. You are shaping your future through consistency, not speed. Be mindful of your inner dialogue. The way you speak to yourself during this season matters deeply. You are no longer the person who doubts every instinct. You are becoming someone who listens, reflects, and responds with wisdom. When old self-criticism arises, acknowledge it without agreement and release it. It no longer belongs to you. There may be moments when you feel drawn to withdraw completely. Solitude has served you well in the past, but now it must be balanced with presence. You are not meant to disappear. You are meant to emerge wisely. Choose when to step forward, not because of pressure, but because of readiness. Archangel Michael reminds you that true strength is flexible. You can be firm without being rigid. You can be compassionate without being consumed. You can lead quietly without demanding recognition. This balance is your spiritual signature. It allows you to move through the world without losing your center. Your intuition around timing is sharpening. You may sense when to speak and when silence carries more authority. You may feel when an opportunity should be paused instead of pursued. Trust these impressions. They are the fruit of alignment, not imagination. If uncertainty arises, return to stillness. Breathe. Ground yourself. Listen inwardly. Your inner compass is functioning more clearly than ever before. Trust it. You are not behind. You are not missing out. You are positioned. Stay present in this season. What unfolds next will reveal how this inner authority begins to open doors that effort never could, and why patience now will protect what is coming. Hold on, because the next unfolding brings clarity you did not expect. Beloved child, Archangel Michael speaks again, because now the work that was done inside you is preparing to meet the real world in visible ways. This is a critical threshold. Many people mistake this stage for delay, but it is actually confirmation. When inner authority is real, life begins to test it gently at first, then consistently. What you are stepping into now is a season where alignment must be lived, not just felt. You may notice that situations are becoming more defined. Where life once felt layered with confusion, things now appear clearer, even if they are not easier. You are no longer stuck in endless internal debate. When something is right, you sense it deeply. When something is wrong, your spirit resists it without needing explanation. This clarity is not harsh. It is calm. And calm clarity is one of the strongest forms of discernment. Archangel Michael says this unity within you is rare. Many people move without knowing, or know without moving. You are learning how to know and move together. This is why your decisions now feel heavier, more meaningful. You understand that each choice shapes direction, not just outcome. You are no longer choosing to escape discomfort. You are choosing to honor truth. Pressure may begin to rise around you. Expectations may increase. Others may seek your input, your reassurance, or your stability. This is not accidental. When authority settles, people sense it instinctively. But you must remember this carefully. You are not responsible for carrying everyone's weight. You are responsible for remaining aligned. Help when guided. Speak when led. Remain silent when silence carries wisdom. There may be moments when visibility feels uncomfortable. Being seen with clarity can feel more vulnerable than being hidden in uncertainty. When you were unsure, there was less expectation. Now that you are grounded, others may project more onto you. Archangel Michael reminds you that you are not exposed. You are covered. The integration you experienced was not just healing, it was armor. Observe how you are responding to challenges now. You are less reactive. You are more observant. You allow situations to unfold before inserting yourself. This is not avoidance. This is wisdom in action. You are learning that timing often matters more than effort. Acting too early can cost more than waiting patiently. There is also a quiet refinement happening in your desires. Some things you once wanted intensely no longer carry the same pull. Other things you once ignored now feel essential. This is not loss of ambition. This is clarity of assignment. Archangel Michael says when purpose sharpens, distractions lose their appeal. You may experience periods of stillness where nothing seems to move forward. Do not misinterpret this. Stillness is not stagnation. It is integration. Just as the body needs rest after exertion, the spirit needs space after transformation. What has changed within you must settle before it can support greater responsibility. Pay close attention to how you handle disappointment now. It does not unravel you the way it once did. You may feel it, but it no longer defines you. This is evidence of anchoring. Anchored people feel waves without being pulled under. You are learning how to stay steady even when outcomes are uncertain. Archangel Michael also speaks clearly about relationships in this season. You will feel less tolerant of inconsistency. Not because you are demanding, but because clarity does not coexist well with confusion. You are no longer willing to shrink yourself to maintain connection. This will naturally filter who remains and who fades. Let it happen without resistance. At times, you may feel misunderstood again. But this time, it will not wound you the same way. You no longer need universal understanding. You need inner peace. And that peace is now rooted. When you know who you are becoming, disagreement loses its power. Remember this truth: growth does not always look like movement. Sometimes growth looks like standing firm while everything around you shifts. Your role in certain situations may simply be to remain grounded. That grounded presence alone can change outcomes without you saying a word. Archangel Michael says your calm will be tested, not to break you, but to confirm you. Each time you respond from alignment instead of impulse, your authority strengthens. Each time you wait instead of rushing, you protect what is ahead. These choices may feel invisible now, but they are shaping something enduring. You are building a life that will not collapse under pressure. A path that does not require constant correction. Your foundation is strong because it was formed internally before being expressed externally. That is why this stage matters so much. Stay present. Stay aware. What unfolds next will reveal how this inner authority begins to manifest in tangible opportunities and decisions, and why the patience you are practicing now will soon make perfect sense. Beloved soul, Archangel Michael speaks with deep gentleness now, because this stage of your journey is sacred ground. What hath been happening within you is no longer just inner preparation. It is beginning to echo outward, quietly but unmistakably. This is the moment where truth meets timing. Nothing is rushing toward you, yet nothing is delaying. You are stepping into something that has been aligning itself around you long before you were aware of it. You may notice that life feels different, even if nothing dramatic has changed on the surface. Resistance is softer. Struggle is less personal. Situations that once triggered anxiety now meet a calmer, more grounded response. This is not because problems disappeared, but because you changed. Your inner alignment is now shaping how the world meets you. You are no longer pushing against life. You are walking with it. Archangel Michael reveals that the side of you that once stayed hidden is now becoming a source of quiet authority. Not authority that demands attention, but authority that commands respect without effort. You do not need to announce who you are becoming. Your presence speaks. Your calm speaks. Your restraint speaks. Some people will feel safe around you, drawn to your steadiness. Others will feel unsettled, because light reveals what people try to avoid within themselves. Both reactions are natural. Neither is your responsibility to manage. There is also emotional stabilization taking place at a deep level. You are not suppressing what you feel. You are governing it. You allow emotion to pass through without letting it take control. This is wisdom. This is the hidden side stepping forward not in fear, but in mastery. It knows when to feel fully and when to remain anchored. This balance is rare, and it is powerful. Archangel Michael says this is a season of spiritual trust. You are being asked to trust inner confirmation even when external evidence is still forming. This kind of faith is not blind. It is built on experience. You have walked through enough uncertainty to recognize truth when it resonates. You are no longer easily swayed by appearances or promises. You listen inwardly first. Pay attention now to what no longer fits. Certain habits, commitments, or expectations may suddenly feel heavy or outdated. Releasing them may feel uncomfortable, even bittersweet, but it is necessary. You are making room for what can only enter when you are whole. Holding on to what belonged to an earlier version of you would limit what is trying to arrive. You may also feel moments of gratitude surfacing unexpectedly. Gratitude not just for blessings, but for survival. For the seasons that nearly broke you but ultimately shaped you. The hidden side learned endurance. The visible side learned resilience. Together, they formed wisdom. Archangel Michael says wisdom is the crown that suffering places on those who refuse to become bitter. This phase of your journey is not loud, but it is holy. You are learning how to move without internal resistance. When you say yes, your spirit agrees. When you say no, your peace remains intact. This alignment is the foundation for everything that follows. Without it, success would cost you too much. With it, responsibility becomes sustainable. Hear this clearly now. The light you protected for so long is not meant to remain hidden. It is meant to guide, not through dominance or control, but through example. People will learn simply by observing how you respond, how you remain steady when others panic, how you do not compromise yourself to fit expectations. This is leadership without force. Archangel Michael also releases assurance over you. You are not late. You are not behind. The timing of your becoming is exact. If things had unfolded earlier, they would have overwhelmed you. And now, you have the capacity to carry what is coming without losing yourself. That is why patience mattered so much. If this message is settling deeply in your spirit, acknowledge it. Type "I step into alignment" in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 1437 has now been activated over your life. And now, listen carefully, because this moment carries weight. This message is reaching hearts that have been divided for too long. Light is traveling to those who are still hiding parts of themselves out of fear or misunderstanding. When you support this work, you are not supporting a channel. You are helping truth reach souls who are ready, but searching. I hear the Lord say, as you release, I release. As you sow, I establish. Your giving becomes oil that keeps this flame burning. This is my direct invitation to you. Respond now through super thanks. Step into membership, or release your seed through PayPal. The PayPal donation link is waiting in the description for those who feel the urgency. Do not delay what heaven is prompting. I speak blessing over every giver now. May clarity guard your decisions. May peace fill your home, and may the light you protected begin to multiply through you. Act now. Let your obedience speak where words cannot. My beloved child, Archangel Michael speaks again, and now the message turns your attention toward what is quietly forming ahead of you. Until now, the work has been mostly internal, healing, integrating, stabilizing what was once divided. But alignment never remains invisible forever. What has been settled within you is preparing to express itself outwardly, through direction, decisions, and discernment that will soon shape your physical world in noticeable ways. This is not a sudden leap. It is a gradual emergence. You may sense that something is approaching, not as fear or anxiety, but as awareness. It feels like readiness rather than urgency. Your spirit feels alert, watchful, and steady. This is because the season of internal correction is transitioning into a season of external positioning. You are no longer being asked to fix what was broken. You are being asked to steward what has become whole. Archangel Michael reveals that clarity is becoming your greatest strength, not the kind of clarity that demands every answer in advance, but the kind that allows you to move without inner resistance. You no longer feel torn between options. When you pause, it is intentional. When you move, it is grounded. This stability will soon attract situations that require wisdom more than speed, depth more than display. Pay attention to moments that seem small. A conversation that lingers in your mind. An invitation that feels gentle but significant. A responsibility that appears without force. These moments are not random. Alignment often announces itself quietly. Heaven rarely interrupts loudly. Instead, it places opportunities in your path that reveal who you have become. How you respond to these moments will shape what opens next. You may notice that your need to explain yourself has diminished even further. You are less interested in convincing others of your intentions or your value. This is a sign of maturity. Archangel Michael says truth does not require persuasion. It stands on its own. Your confidence is no longer built on approval or validation. It is built on self-recognition. You know who you are becoming, and that knowing gives you peace. There is also a growing sense of responsibility forming within you. Not as pressure, but as ownership. You feel accountable for how you show up, how you speak, how you choose. This responsibility does not feel heavy because it flows from integrity. When alignment settles, responsibility becomes natural. You are no longer careless with your words or your energy. You understand their impact. You may find that people begin to look to you more often, even subtly. They may seek your perspective, your steadiness, or simply your presence. This does not mean you are meant to carry their burdens. It means your alignment is noticeable. Archangel Michael reminds you to discern carefully. Sometimes leadership means offering guidance. Sometimes it means restraint. Sometimes it means allowing others to walk their own process without interference. Wisdom knows when to engage and when to step back. There will also be discernment required around opportunity. Not everything that looks good is meant for you. Some paths will appeal to your abilities, but drain your peace. Others may appear modest, but nourish your spirit deeply. Learn to choose what sustains you, not just what excites you. Longevity matters more than visibility in this season. As clarity deepens, you may begin to revisit past versions of yourself with compassion instead of regret. You understand now why you stayed in certain situations and why you left others. Why you hesitated. Why you endured. This understanding releases self-judgment. You see the full picture, and when judgment leaves, freedom enters. You no longer fight your past. You integrate it. Your emotional responses are becoming clearer and more contained. You still feel deeply, but you do not spiral. Disappointment no longer dismantles you. Joy no longer makes you anxious about loss. This emotional steadiness is not numbness. It is regulation. It is the result of inner unity. You are no longer fragmented. You are present. Archangel Michael says presence is one of your greatest strengths now. When you are present, you notice what others miss. Shifts in tone, subtle intentions, unspoken truths. This awareness allows you to respond wisely rather than react emotionally. It also protects you from manipulation and confusion. You are not easily pulled off center anymore. You may find that silence feels more powerful than speech in many moments. Honor this. Silence is not absence. It is authority waiting for the right timing. When you speak from silence, your words carry weight. They are measured. They land with clarity. You are learning the rhythm of wisdom, not rushing expression. There is also a call to remain grounded. Alignment does not elevate ego. It deepens humility. Not humility that shrinks, but humility that steadies. Whatever you are stepping into will require confidence without domination, clarity without arrogance. Archangel Michael says humility will keep doors open that force would close. Do not rush to define outcomes. Allow life to unfold at a pace your spirit can sustain. You are not late. You are not early. You are precise. Every season you walk through prepared you for this moment of discernment. Stay attentive. Stay steady. What unfolds next will show how this clarity crystallizes into concrete direction, and why the decisions ahead will feel weighty yet peaceful. Trust what has been built within you. You are ready for what is coming. My beloved one, Archangel Michael speaks now with urgency wrapped in calm, because this phase of your journey requires conscious participation. What had been forming within you is no longer happening automatically. Alignment has been given. Clarity has been established, but now stewardship is required. You are entering a season where your choices carry greater weight, not because you are under pressure, but because you are finally clear enough to choose wisely. You may notice that life itself is asking you quiet questions. Not dramatic questions, not fearful ones, but persistent invitations. Questions such as what you will commit to now, what you will no longer tolerate, and where you will intentionally place your attention. These questions are not meant to overwhelm you. Archangel Michael says heaven only asks questions of those who are mature enough to answer without panic. This is also the season where distractions reveal themselves clearly. Things that once blended into your routine now stand out as misaligned. You may feel it physically first, a subtle heaviness, a lack of peace, a resistance that did not exist before. This is not negativity. This is discernment activating fully. You are no longer meant to move on autopilot. Awareness is required now. There is a refinement happening in your courage as well. This is not loud courage that confronts everything at once. This is quiet courage that stays true when compromise would be easier. You may notice yourself saying no where you once said yes out of obligation. You may find yourself speaking when you once stayed silent out of fear. These shifts are not rebellion. They are signs that inner authority has taken root. Archangel Michael reminds you that not every test will look spiritual. Some tests will come disguised as opportunities that seem good but pull you off center. Others will appear as pressure to return to old patterns that once felt familiar. Pay attention to how your peace responds. Peace is not the absence of challenge. It is the confirmation of alignment even while challenges exist. You may experience moments of fatigue, not physical exhaustion, but mental and emotional tiredness from decision-making. This is natural when growth accelerates. Be gentle with yourself. Rest does not mean retreat. It means recalibration. Even the strongest warrior pauses to sharpen the sword. Stillness will not delay you. It will keep you accurate. There is also a call here to engage intentionally with what supports this journey. You are not meant to walk this phase disconnected. If this message is resonating with you, take a moment to like this video so it can reach others who are standing at the same crossroads. Share it with someone who feels this internal shift but has struggled to put it into words. Leave a comment as a declaration that you are choosing awareness over autopilot. And make sure you are subscribed so you remain connected as this revelation continues. These steps may seem simple, but they help light travel where it is needed most. Archangel Michael also speaks about responsibility and influence. Whether your influence touches many or just a few, it matters deeply. How you respond to tension, how you speak about others when they are not present, how you handle disappointment when things do not go your way. These moments shape more than you realize. You are being trusted with subtle leadership. Lead with integrity, not intensity. You may feel a growing pull toward authenticity. Pretending costs too much now. Wearing masks drains you faster than before. You no longer want to maintain roles that no longer reflect who you are becoming. This honesty may feel risky at first, but it will bring freedom. When you stop pretending, your energy returns. And when your energy returns, clarity follows. There is a warning wrapped in grace here. Do not confuse peace with passivity. Alignment does not mean avoiding action. It means choosing the right action at the right time. You will know when it is time to move because hesitation will fall away naturally. Until that moment arrives, waiting is not weakness. Waiting is wisdom. Archangel Michael says many people lose what they were given by rushing ahead too quickly. You are not meant to rush. You are meant to remain attentive. Small misalignments corrected now will prevent major consequences later. Listen closely to your inner knowing. It has been trained through experience and refined through patience. If uncertainty rises at any point, return to what grounds you. Silence, breath, stillness. These are not escapes. They are tools. Your inner compass is active and reliable now. Trust it more than outside noise, opinions, or pressure. Before you move on, stay with this moment. What unfolds next will reveal what is being prepared specifically for you, and why the patience you are practicing right now is protecting something far greater than you can see. Keep watching, because this is where everything starts to come together in a way you did not expect. My beloved child, Archangel Michael speaks now in a quieter tone, because this part of the journey is about recognition. Not recognition from the world, but recognition within yourself. Something important is happening beneath the surface. You are beginning to see yourself clearly, without distortion, without judgment, and without the old internal arguments that once clouded your vision. This clarity is not sudden. It is the result of everything you have endured, integrated, and released. There was a time when you questioned your own nature. You wondered why you felt so deeply, why you noticed what others ignored, why you could not fully abandon caution even when opportunity knocked loudly. You thought something was wrong with you. Now, Archangel Michael reveals the truth. Nothing was wrong. You were calibrated differently. Your spirit was designed to hold awareness and action in balance. That balance is now becoming visible to you. You are beginning to recognize patterns in your life with new understanding. Situations that once felt confusing now make sense. People who exited your life no longer leave unanswered questions. Even painful endings are being reframed as necessary closures. This is not denial. This is wisdom settling in. When wisdom arrives, it does not erase the past. It explains it. Archangel Michael says this recognition is essential because you cannot step fully into what is ahead while still misunderstanding who you are. Self-recognition anchors authority. Without it, confidence collapses under pressure. With it, you remain steady even when outcomes are uncertain. You are reaching that steadiness now. You may notice that your inner dialogue has changed. You speak to yourself with more patience. You no longer attack yourself for feeling uncertain or needing time. You understand that discernment requires space. This gentler inner voice is not weakness. It is strength that no longer needs to prove itself through harshness. There is also a deep acceptance forming. Acceptance of your pace. Acceptance of your depth. Acceptance of your limits. This acceptance does not shrink you. It frees you. When you stop fighting who you are, your energy returns. And when your energy returns, your vision clears. Archangel Michael reveals that you are entering a phase where self-trust becomes your primary guide. External validation will matter less. Advice will still be useful, but it will no longer override your inner knowing. You are learning how to listen, evaluate, and decide without losing yourself in other people's expectations. This is a sign of maturity. You may still encounter uncertainty, but it will feel different now. It will feel like curiosity rather than fear. You will ask questions not because you doubt yourself, but because you want to choose well. This shift is subtle, but powerful. Fear constricts. Curiosity expands. You are expanding. There is also release happening around old labels. Labels others placed on you. Labels you placed on yourself. Too quiet. Too cautious. Too intense. Too sensitive. Too slow. These labels are losing their grip. You see now that they were incomplete descriptions of a complex design. You were never meant to fit neatly into boxes. You were meant to carry nuance. Archangel Michael says nuance is a gift in a world that rushes to extremes. You see layers. You understand contradictions. You hold space for complexity. This ability will serve you well in what is ahead. It allows you to navigate situations others mishandle. It allows you to respond where others react. You may feel moments of peace that surprise you. Peace not tied to circumstances, but to alignment. Even when things are unresolved, you feel okay. Not numb. Not detached. Simply grounded. This is evidence that your inner foundation is strong. Storms no longer shake you the way they once did. As this recognition deepens, you may feel less urgency to define the future. You trust that clarity will arrive when needed. You are no longer trying to control outcomes prematurely. You are learning how to cooperate with timing. This cooperation brings rest. Archangel Michael also speaks about compassion toward your past self. There is no condemnation in heaven for the ways you survived. There is honor. You did what you knew how to do with the awareness you had. Now you have more awareness. And with awareness comes grace, not shame. You are not required to become someone entirely new. You are becoming more fully yourself. The hidden side and the visible side are no longer negotiating. They are unified. This unity is what gives you quiet confidence. You no longer feel divided when decisions arise. You feel aligned. Stay present with this recognition. Let it settle fully. You do not need to announce it. You do not need to explain it. Lie from it. Walk from it. Speak from it. The next unfolding will reveal how this self-recognition opens the final layer of release and blessing that has been waiting for you. Remain still for this moment. What comes next will complete the circle and reveal why everything unfolded exactly as it did. My beloved child, Archangel Michael speaks now with finality and fulfillment, because this is the closing of a cycle you have lived inside for years without knowing its name. What is happening now is not just understanding. It is release. The merging of your two sides was preparation, but this moment is activation. You are no longer standing between who you were and who you are becoming. You are standing fully as who you are. There is a deep exhale happening in your spirit, a letting go you did not force. Old tension is dissolving. Old self-doubt is loosening its grip. You are not trying to be strong anymore. You simply are. This strength is not aggressive. It is settled. And settled strength cannot be shaken easily. Archangel Michael says this is the moment where your past stops speaking louder than your present. Memories may still exist, but they no longer define your reactions. You are no longer responding from wounds. You are responding from wisdom. This is how you know healing is real. When triggers lose authority and peace becomes your default. You may notice that forgiveness feels more natural now. Not because others suddenly deserve it, but because carrying resentment no longer fits who you are. Forgiveness is not agreement. It is release. And release is power. You are reclaiming energy that was tied up in old stories. That energy is returning to you now. There is also a clarity around identity. You are no longer confused about why you are the way you are. Your depth makes sense. Your caution makes sense. Your sensitivity makes sense. Archangel Michael reveals that every part of you was necessary. Nothing was wasted. Even your hidden side was holy. This is why comparison no longer holds weight. You are not meant to replicate anyone else's path. You were designed for a specific rhythm, a specific pace, a specific kind of impact. When you accept that fully, envy dissolves and confidence rises naturally. You no longer feel behind. You feel aligned. There is also peace in your decisions now. Even when outcomes are uncertain, your inner state remains steady. This is because you are no longer betraying yourself to move forward. Alignment protects you from regret. You may still make mistakes, but they will not fracture you. You know how to recover without losing your center. Archangel Michael says this is the moment where trust becomes embodied. You trust yourself. You trust timing. You trust that what is meant for you will recognize you without force. This trust is not passive. It is active faith expressed through patience, discernment, and obedience. You are also being released from the need to be understood by everyone. The right people will recognize you without explanation. Others may never fully see you, and that is okay. You no longer need validation to remain confident. Your certainty is internal now. As this chapter closes, take a moment to honor yourself. Not with pride, but with gratitude. You survived things that reshaped you. You carried light through seasons that tried to dim it, and you did not lose your integrity along the way. Heaven honors that. If this message has completed something inside you, respond in faith. Type "I walk in wholeness" in the comments if this word has sealed something in your spirit. Blessing code 2914 has now been released. And now, listen carefully, because this is a sacred moment. What you have just received is not meant to stop with you. There are others still hiding parts of themselves, still divided, still protecting light without knowing why. This message is reaching them because heaven is moving. And now I speak directly to you. This is my invitation. When you sow into this work, you are not giving to a platform. You are sending light into homes where confusion still lives. You are pouring oil where faith is flickering. The Lord says, "Those who partner with my voice will never lack clarity in their own house." This is a prophetic act. Respond now through Super Thanks. Step into membership. Release your seed through PayPal. The PayPal donation link is in the description, waiting for those who feel the pull. Do not hesitate. Obedience unlocks acceleration. I speak blessing over every giver now. May your obedience return as peace, provision, and protection. May the light you've supported rise to guide you and those you love. Act now. Let this moment become a harvest that speaks long after the video ends.